All right, guys, got a BDS kit here. This one's different. I don't think we've never done this one. This is gonna be a 7-inch BDS for the 2001 to 2010 GM 3/4 and 1 ton trucks. So we got here in 01 that this is going on, but this is gonna be a 7-inch, and this is the non-torsion drop kit, like BDS does on the newer trucks as well, I think, which is what we've shown. But what that does is, rather than dropping the torsion bars down like you see on a lot of some of the old school lifts, these are going to keep the torsion bars up in the factory positions and actually move them up on the control arms here using these brackets, which in turn actually provides a better ride and more ground clearance. So this one optioned out with the Fox 2.0 shocks all around. We got our lower control arm drop cross members, which have the integrated differential drop, and these are going to be differential drops here, a brace here, because you want to lower that differential down to maintain the proper CV axle angles. And they actually integrate the differential mounting into the cross members to keep everything rigid and actually stiffen it up more so than factory. Up front, like I said, lower control arm drop cross members. Then we got our sway bar drop cross members as well to bring the sway bar down to factory levels. This one, he got the NX2 steering stabilizer. And then, you know, you got your extended sway bar links. BDS offers full replacement leaf packs for the rear, but on this one, the customer actually decided to keep the blocks, and he's actually gonna go with the fixed traction bars here. These are BDS's fixed traction bars as opposed to the recoil system. So that's why he went with the blocks traction bars. And then as well as,
oh, nobody shut the compressor off.
Oh, you didn't do your checklist, Lawson. And then obviously we got the skid plates here, the BDS skid plates. This is gonna be the diff skid plate for the front differential. And then they got you the splash guard plate here, which replaces the factory plastic one. You got your new lift knuckles here, which are really heavy. You can see they're forged units. BDS offers two different versions. Actually, they give you two different options for the knuckles. Standard track width option and narrow track width option. On these trucks, or most any trucks, when you do a knuckle lift like this, you're gonna increase track width, or how far the front wheels stick out on the truck. When you go with the standard ones, it's gonna push the front wheels out a little further, usually around 1.5 inches. But when you do that, it's gonna maintain factory turning radius. Whereas the other option is the narrow track width knuckles, which keeps the front track width stock, but then it reduces your turning radius, so you won't be able to turn as much. And so they give you the option to choose what you want to do there, which is nice. CV axle spacers, because like I said, obviously the track width is increasing, so you need to space out the front CV axles. These are going to just be some brackets and stuff for the traction bars here. That's pretty much it for the kit itself. A bunch of hardware, weld-in reinforcement plate here for the frame piece that will be cut. And also just wanted to add that he is actually upgrading to Kryptonite steering components and wheel bearings. We are in fact a full line Kryptonite dealer, so if you're interested in any Kryptonite products, let us know and we can get you a quote. He's doing ball joints, tie rods, and they have lifetime warranty wheel bearings as well. All Kryptonite products, I believe, are lifetime warranty. So if you're interested, hit us up, let us know. Banker's gonna get this lift kit installed because it's for his uncle's, dad's friend's, cousin's, sister's neighbor, so he really is really close with him, so he's gotta get it on.
One, action.
You didn't say your whole little quiet on the set.
There's no one here to tell to be quiet on the set.
All right, guys, we got the 7-inch BDS installed here on this truck, and we're just gonna run through the parts as they are installed here, just so you can get an idea of what they look like once installed. Obviously, you got the lower control arm drop cross members here, front, back, new splash plate here with the BDS logo engraved in it, or laser cut, I should say. Front differentials drop down. You can see the diff drops here. New skid plate designed to protect the front differential once it's lowered down, as well as some cross bracing here. It's actually also really nice. You can see Let's go on this side. And can you see here? You can see they actually brace the front differential here. You add this piece, you bolt this piece onto the front, and it actually ties into the front drop cross member and the rear as well to really make the front differential rigid in place. Then you got your new sway bar end links here. These are a really nice heavy duty piece. And then CV axle spacers here, because of course the knuckles are going to increase front track width. Got the forged knuckles on there, as you can see, and remember the truck is up in the air, so the truck is at full droop right now. It's not how the angles actually are in the ground. We should get a shot of that. One of the issues we actually ran into on this truck, as you can see, is right here. Apparently, they have really tight tolerance where the brake rotor will ride on this knuckle. So normally, you route your wheel speed sensor just up the knuckle, up and around, you're good to go. But here, apparently, there's such a tight tolerance that you would actually slice through the wheel speed sensor here for us. So we're gonna have to replace that and route it a different way. Take a look at the other side so you can see, or show people, you can see here how close the brake rotor is to that knuckle there. There's no room to route that wheel speed sensor. So you actually have to reroute it backwards and come out the back. So just something to maybe note if you're gonna be doing this, so you don't eat up a wheel speed sensor. And then we got Fox shocks installed on here, bump stop drops, and then this is going to be part of the non-torsion drop system here. You can see the torsion bars in the factory location still. It actually raises it up on the arm rather than dropping it down on the truck, which is actually a really nice setup. It works well and actually makes the truck ride a little nicer. And then in the back here, this customer opted for the fixed traction bars. BDS offers 2 traction bar series. They're recoil series, and this is just the standard fixed series traction bar. All right, so on the back here, like I said, BDS either offers the block option, or they'll actually offer a full leaf spring replacement option here. The customer opted for just go with the blocks, and then needed the Fox 2.0 shocks in the rear, and then you got your bump stop drops for the rear as well. And then that pretty much rounds out the back. They relocate the brake line bracket up there, so you're not pulling on the brake lines. One thing I forgot to mention is BDS includes this front drive shaft spacer here to basically help the front drive shaft out so it's not being overextended. So BDS apparently recommends, after the fact, that you should clock the wheel bearing assembly. So this would be in the factory location. They want you to actually clock it 90 degrees clockwise so that the wheel speed sensor is actually over here on this side, and you're supposed to run it up that way. They don't tell you in the instructions, so they tell you to clock it 90 degrees here clockwise so the wheel speed sensor runs out this way, but then you run into the dust shield, so you either have to modify the dust shield or remove the dust shield. So that would be something nice to know beforehand, but unfortunately they don't tell you that, so you have to learn that the hard way. On this particular truck, you might notice these upgraded tie rods here. These are actually Kryptonite tie rod ends, sleeves, and inner tie rods here. These are a really heavy duty upgrade for these trucks. We all know the GM trucks have steering issues and they're pretty wimpy from the factory, so we upgraded this guy to some Kryptonite stuff. We are going to be selling Kryptonite products on our site soon, so hit us up if you want some pricing. And then we also did Kryptonite ball joints, uppers, lowers, and then the tie rods. So that's going to be the BDS 7-inch kit here for the 01 to 10 GM 3/4 and 1/2 ton trucks. Overall, it's a very nice kit. The one thing I'm upset about is the fact they mentioned nothing about this wheel speed sensor issue.